GamerSpawn. For nearly 2 decades, the Elder Scrolls series of RPGs has drawn in gamers with its expansive, detailed worlds and freeform gameplay. Most recently, Bethesda's Skyrim won over millions of players' hearts with its improved graphics, game engine, and RPG mechanics. The series has been loved by people the world over and has a steadily growing fan base. But with the exception of the Battlespire and Travel spin-offs, the franchise has always been a solo affair. All that is about to change with the Elder Scrolls Online. Making the jump from a single-player adventure to the crowded market of MMORPGs, the game will allow players to travel the entirety of the continent of Tamriel for the first time since the Elder Scrolls Arena, all the way back in 1994, though some areas may be available only after expansion packs. Headed up by MMO veteran Matt Farrer of Dark Age and Camelot fame, ZeniMax Online Studios has been working on the game since its inception in 2007, with a team of over 250 developers. While the MMO is set in the same world as the other games in the franchise, the Elder Scrolls Online will take place 1,000 years before the events in last year's Skyrim. In this age, constant warfare and chaos reign supreme as various factions struggle to gain the upper hand in order to rule the continent. Players may join the Ebonheart Pact, the Aldmeri Dominion, or the Daggerfall Covenant, depending on which race they'd like us to play. Using the hero engine also employed by Star Wars: The Old Republic, the game will feature a new art style more similar to the MMO Rift than previous games in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Though Skyrim has drawn some criticism for its often simplistic combat and failure to innovate beyond the previous games in the franchise, ZeniMax Online hopes to change that with its new MMO's combat system. Rather than copying and pasting Skyrim or Morrowind's first-person combat, the Elder Scrolls Online will feature a third-person perspective with a fully redesigned battle system. Dispensing with the series' patented real-time combat, ESO will instead focus on a stamina bar used to block, interrupt, or otherwise defend against devastating attacks from monsters or opposing players. Forcing players to make careful, strategic decisions over when to spend stamina points is the heart of the game's revamped battles. In addition to building upon the mechanical strengths of the single-player games in the series, the Elder Scrolls Online promises innovations such as massive PvP battles with up to 100 players on each side. These battles will help determine which of the game's 3 factions will rule over Tamriel, and the winning side installs its best player as Emperor. Players won't be forced into these epic confrontations though, as the game will feature a whole host of instanced and non-instanced public dungeons to quest in a more traditional MMO fashion. It's clear that ZeniMax is taking a huge risk with the Elder Scrolls Online, as it represents the first major gameplay change for the series since its beginnings. But if the gambit is successful, it could draw in millions of the series' loyal fans who may have shunned the MMO arena before. We'll know whether the move pays off when the game releases in 2013. Stay tuned to GamerSpawn for more information on the Elder Scrolls Online from E3 and beyond.
The Imperial throne sits empty. The dragon fire's cold, unlit, and from every corner, darkness grows. Now, ancient enemies band together. Unlikely alliances are forged. Old ambitions rekindle. And as enemies rise faster than allies, salvation cannot come from one hero alone.